I posted my first video just a few weeks ago, and I haven't seen a goddamn cent yet. What the fuck? So I started this channel for just a few reasons. Number one, it's a good creative outlet. Number two, I have a passion for both comedy and left-wing politics, and this is a good way to use both skills to entertain and educate. But third, and frankly only, I want to make cash! How am I going to make that Hassan Piker money? Stream on Twitch? I can't do that shit. I suck at video games, and I'm nowhere near as hot or muscular as he is. Even if I work out, I can't change my face with that expensive plastic surgery. And to do that, I'd have to get a BetterHelp sponsorship. And I'm not prepared to stoop that low. Plus, I have a full-time job. I mean, how am I supposed to get enough subscribers and watch time to qualify for monetization if I'm working all the time? I mean, there are only 7 days in the week.
Is what a poor person would say.
My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy. You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours, just like some dude in a cave did 300 years ago. My second day starts at noon and goes till 6 p.m. That's day 2. And then the next day is 6 p.m. to midnight. What I've done now is I have changed and manipulated time. I now get 21 days a week. Stack that up over a month, I'm gonna kick your butt. Stack it up over a year, you're toast. Stack it up over 5 years, my entire life is different than it would have been otherwise.
Yes, this man, this beautiful G.I. Joe of a man, has discovered the power to bend and manipulate time to his will. He has seen through the lies that the cavemen of the 18th century would like you to believe, that days are 24 hours long. Now you might be asking, hey Sean, isn't a day just a single rotation of the Earth? Doesn't it also roughly correspond to our sleep cycles and circadian rhythms? Well, before you get to your third question, no, I don't have any money for you. You bum. Go get a job. Secondly, don't worry. Ed's got an answer to that.
So here's the truth. The idea of a 24-hour day is so antiquated and ridiculous that we still measure time in 24-hour increments as a day is so terrible for people and their productivity. This concept has obviously got some crap to do hundreds of years ago about when the moon and we go around the sun and the moon and all that other stuff. There's no electricity. There were no cars. There was no internet. There was no television. It's insane that some guy 250 years ago had a 24-hour day and I do today with Google, with a smartphone. It's ridiculous.
See, the day is just outdated. Sure, your body may get tired around sundown, but that's why you just install a giant floodlight in your house. Stare at it until you can trick your brain into thinking that it's day again. Think! This is how real high-level performers burn their retinas. So, a day does indeed have nothing to do with how we go around the sun and the moon and all that crap. You're thinking of how years and months work. A day is just a single rotation of the Earth with respect to the sun. So you can change the definition of a day all you want. It doesn't mean anything. There are already different phases throughout the day. There's morning, afternoon, and evening. You haven't discovered anything new, Ed. Why stop at 6-hour days? Why not 3-hour days? 1-hour days? Why not have every minute count as an hour and every 24 minutes count as a day, just like they do in The Sims? I mean, if you could have 40 years worth of work done in one calendar year, then why wouldn't you do that? I thought you were a hustler, Ed. Yes, and it is very funny that he thinks that early Homo sapiens invented the 24-hour day around the time that, you know, the East India Company was operating. But to be fair, he does have a warped perception of time. I mean, if he thinks that every day has 3 days, then every year has over 1,000 days, and thus 300 years would be actually 900 years. But we also didn't invent 24-hour days around the time of the high Middle Ages, so he's still dumb. But honestly, who am I to criticize him? I mean, he's incredibly wealthy and I'm not, so I mean, he must be contributing something to society. Ed Mylett is living proof that capitalists work hard. He's earned $400 million, according to capitalism.com, by doing business things, such as coaching people about how to succeed in business, and hosting a podcast about how to succeed in business, and posting 2 to 3 YouTube videos per week about how to succeed in business, and writing a book about how to succeed in business. So he's succeeded in business by teaching people how to succeed in business, which is the ultimate business, as it turns out. maybe I'm being unfair. Sure, he has 20 to 30 minute podcast episodes with, I swear to God, 6 ad breaks in them. But he was wealthy well before he did anything with YouTube, social media, or podcasting. He was with the World Financial Group, a company named so prestige and old school that it sounds like the antagonist in a Pixar film. And World Financial Group is totally legit. You want to know how I know? Because if you go to their website, they proudly proclaim that they are not a pyramid scheme. I have no further questions.
Is this multi-level marketing?
Oh, but apparently these people do.
Is it your concern that we're talking about doing something where we're going to recruit a bunch of friends and family and get them into a business and they're going to buy all these products they don't need and then your reputation is going to be trashed forever?
Yes.
I know exactly how you feel. Believe me when I tell you that is not something my wife and I would want to get involved with either. And it was one of my initial questions. This whole recruiting conversation and coming to business with me sounds a little bit like that, doesn't it?
Yes.
I want you to know very clearly that's not the case. We're in an industry that requires licensings and exams and a very extensive training program, and there's a screening process to even get associated with us in the first place. So absolutely, by no means, that is not the case. I want you to have no concerns about that.
Okay, so his explanation is that WFG is not an MLM because the associates need to pass licensing exams, which, according to WFG's website, can be done in as little as 3 to 4 months. This almost sounds impressive until you realize that currently all 50 states in the US require insurance salespeople to be licensed, meaning that they're literally just bragging about complying with the law.
From the online reviews of WFG, it seems clear that they do operate on an MLM basis. Not only are you required to sell insurance and financial products, you're required to recruit people, usually from your own familial and friend relationships, to sell those products. And in turn, they're supposed to recruit people as well. That way, you'll be earning a percentage of your downline recruits' commissions, which will be helpful because at first, you're giving away 64% of your commission to your upline.
But don't worry, because later on you can earn as much as 64% of your commission. Just for context, I've read life insurance agents can earn as much as 60 to 80% in their first year commissions and often as high as 100%. So 64% as a ceiling is pretty unusual.
Also remember, World Financial Group does not have a base salary. So not only are you earning dick in your sales, you're not even earning dick in the slow periods, which means the only way to earn more than dick is to become the MLM guy in your family. And I don't mean the good kind of MLM guy. That's why Ed mentioned that the family must be worried about their reputation, because everybody knows that nobody likes the cousin who reaches out to you after 12 years of no contact to get you to sell Herbalife. So this all sounds pretty shady, but I'm sure this is just how he got his start, right? This is probably in his past, right? No, he's still there as director of field leadership. Now, to be fair, he's probably not involved in the day-to-day anymore. It's probably kind of a title like, I don't know, Finance Bro Emeritus or something like that. So what did Ed do there when he was most involved? Well, he was director of marketing, which kind of makes it sound like his only skill is selling bullshit, whether that's life insurance or life coaching. But that wouldn't be fair either, because he's also involved in real estate. So, don't you feel silly now? You thought he was some grindset, grifter, parasite, but no, he's also a landlord. And as a lowly rentoid, I have to tip my cap. I wish he was my landlord. I'd tip him 200%. Ed knows how to turn hard work into capital, and he only multiplies that capital through more hard work. As Karl Marx said, capital is dead labor that vampire-like only lives by sucking living labor and lives the more labor it sucks. And that's awesome. Vampires are cool and sexy. And this relationship to hard work differentiates Ed from other entrepreneurs.
I'm amazed when I watch this, but people that get a little bit of progress in their business and then they cool it. They don't make the same effort that got them that little bit of success. Let me say that to you again. The very thing, the effort you made, the behavior, the relentless pursuit that got you that little taste of success, you stop doing or reduce the amount of the thing that got you the success in the first place, and now you're sabotaging the very success you got. Believe it or not, one of the big instigators of self-sabotage is a little bit of progress, a little bit of success.
No. Ed won't slow down for anything. The day after he sells the trillionth copy of his book, he works even harder. He won't slow down for anything. More on that later.
Maybe this isn't so silly after all. Maybe he's just being metaphorical.
Maybe thinking of each 6-hour period as one day, and maybe you'd have 3 days per week is just a useful way to motivate yourself to get more work done.
By the way, the more performance is measured, the more it improves. And the more scarce something is, the more valuable it becomes. That's why diamonds are more valuable than paper. If I got 24 hours to get something done, maybe it's not that important.
Okay, I can kind of see the logic in that. And I love making comics propaganda for y'all, but I like making money too. And I know that Ed Mylett's videos are primarily targeted towards young, white male, aspiring entrepreneurs, and might be saying, well, Sean, you're a socialist YouTuber, you're not an entrepreneur, and you're clearly not that young, and you're not white, you're Irish. And first of all, rude, I'm 28. And second of all, we have to ask, am I not an aspiring entrepreneur? Are YouTubers bourgeois?
Engels said the proletariat is that class in society which lives entirely from the sale of its labor and does not draw profit from any kind of capital, whose weal and woe, whose life and death, whose sole existence depends on the demand for labor.
Now, some channels are straight up companies, like Watcher, for instance. If you're Ricky Wang from Watcher and you get paid a salary or day rate or stipend, whatever it is, and you don't own any of the lights, the cameras, the props, the editing software, anything that's going towards putting out the final product, then yeah, you could be considered a proletarian YouTuber. At least I assume Ricky Wang doesn't own any part of the company. I mean, he didn't get a seat on the apology couch, so I assume he doesn't get a seat on the board. Let's say that one person or a small group of people get together and they buy cameras and lights, and they use that to put out a video which they can eventually make money on. They own the means of production, right? So they are bourgeois, but you may sense a contradiction, which is that they not only own the means of production, but they also do something. They work the means of production. That's where every Marxist's favorite insult comes into play.
Petty bourgeois.
Petty bourgeoisie are often defined as people who both own the means of production and work the means of production, as is the case in self-employed entrepreneurs, in small shop owners who may have a couple of employees, but the owner works alongside their employees. Marx understood that in good times the petty bourgeoisie aligned themselves with the big bourgeoisie, whom they strive to become. But since their existence is always precarious because the big bourgeoisie threatened to drive them out of business, in bad times they could align with the proletariat, but they also could align with, more often these days, far-right political forces. But Marx did say that the petty bourgeoisie could be on the side of the proletariat as well, so I see no problem taking advice from this man, Ed Mylett, who literally has a profile on capitalism.com. I don't have any issue with that. The trouble would seem to be that, I'm not just an aspiring petty bourgeois, I'm a proletarian, I have a full-time retail job. How could I possibly have the time to adopt this lifestyle? Well, it's a
Scarcity mindset, brother.
You see, with a 7-day week, you just have 2 days off, but with a 21-day week, you have 6 days off. And if you don't sleep during that, 4th day, that 8 hours during the night, then you have 13 days off. So I have plenty of time to adopt this lifestyle. If I want to get anywhere close to Ed's level, I'll have to follow his time management tips to a T. And so I did for a whole week. So should I act like I'm earnestly trying to buy the house, or should I act like I'm being aspirational?
I mean, if I was her, I would be thinking they're casing the place trying to steal stuff. So.
Oh. Damn it.
Film as little as possible.
Okay. Look at how spacious that shower is. My God. There are apartments in New York City this size, and they cost $1,500. This is signed by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yep.
Another bathroom.
Yeah, I thought you were about to take a piss. Go ahead and get this.
I pulled my pants all the way down just to take a piss. And I just end up just dribbling all over the floor. That's praxis, bitch.